Okie dokie. So, last time I went live, I was trying to get some new lighting set up so that way when I do my videos, um, it's a little bit more consistent. Well, there's good news and there's bad news. The good news is that I was able to get the lights on. The bad news is, as you notice, my camera's moving, and that is because if I bring you over, there's like an infinite loop of the digital vision here. But yeah, that's what's happening with it, is it's pulling. Like, I had to pinch it here with the closed clip, right? And then it's like, if you look, it's there, but the stickiness, I mean, this is by 3M. I feel like I have higher expectations of 3M products than this, but apparently they decided to put their half-ass adhesive on these strip lights because it has been falling down from the very first minute that I peeled the backing off. And I'm not gonna lie, it's super kind of pissing me off now. I have stuck it back on 7 or 8 times a day since I put it up. And it falls down even when I'm just watching TV because my monitor is also a Roku TV. So I do watch regular programming on it, and it's just flippin' maddening. So, I have a couple of thoughts on the matter here. Thought one would be some sort of like a rubber cement notion. Maybe some hot glue. My mom has a glue gun somewhere, I know that. But being that I am not electrical components inclined, I'm a little concerned that I might ruin the lights. And the problem with these strip lighting that I also don't like is that, having done the research that I've done, you have to have like diodes and extra wiring and cabling to use the rest of it. And like, you have to solder the points down. And even when you do that, it may still not work. Because if you don't completely connect the contact points with the lighting and then get the diode to program it, there's no way to turn them on. Because these lights come with this remote, and I literally have to like reach around, like way around my monitor to get the lights to turn on. And I mean, it's nice when they're on, they change color, yay team, you know, and I still haven't figured out which lighting is going to be the best, because this is yellow right now and that's white, which on the camera looks almost blue. That's green, that's red. I mean, so traditionally one would think that white would be optimal, right? But if it's going to give a blue glare to it, then it's counterproductive. Anyways, so if anybody out there in the YouTube verse has any thoughts, or can let me know if the rubber cement thing is going to be okay, because I'm legit trying not to ruin my lights, but I'm also legit trying not to ruin my monitor either. And I know that rubber cement, you can peel it off later, but you have to actually apply a significant amount of pressure to peel it off, so it's not just going to burn. I did notice that I put these lights on when it was cooler, and then all of a sudden we got a warm streak, and that's when the lights really started coming off, because this room gets super hot in the evening because it faces west. So I don't know. I'm attempting to, you know, try different things or research things, but unfortunately this isn't something that's really been I guess, explored, a lot of the lighting that I'm seeing for these lights is behind the monitor to kind of give it a back, like, mood lighting sort of thing. It's not actually being used for the function of lighting up a space. Or it's been used like outside. Or again, mood lighting around a room, never really around the frame of the monitor. Now, when it's up, it does do well, except for the corners, because, as I said, to be able to cut the strips at 90-degree angles, I would have had to have had additional electrical components, soldering iron, and a diode to be able to control the two non-connected pieces with the original one that's connected to the remote, which is plugged into the wall. So I can successfully say that whoever thought this out was not thinking user-friendly. They were not considering the concept that if you make something spliceable, then you should probably include the materials required for use of the spliced items. Just saying, from a non-electrical engineer perspective. So any ideas, any thoughts, any assistance anybody can send me. It's one of the primary reasons that I haven't done my next video. And then also, I just put it back up and it's falling down already. So, I mean, my OCD is going batshit crazy right now, because every time I put it up, it just falls again and again and again. And I really just want to cut it. But then if I cut it, it's not going to work. So, I mean, yeah, it's very frustrating. And I've seen those stands with the round lights, and you can put your phone in the middle of it. But the problem is that I don't use my phone to make my videos. I use my webcam to do it, which is why you guys have the same view of the bifurcated bed behind me every time, because this is the room that I share with my mom. You know, I will accept any judgment that anyone wants to pass on me. But, you know, it is what it is. And I don't have the ability to stream from my phone. I actually just tried it for this video, and it wouldn't let me do it. So, said something about either the settings of my account or my account status don't allow me to stream from my phone. That's cool. I'm not cool enough for the Turtle Club. I'm used to it. Anyhow, I'm trying really hard to make this work out. I really want my channel to be successful. And I feel like, most especially during the quarantine, but also just in every day, you know, people in the professional businesses, when they reach a certain popularity, they no longer handle the 99%. You know, they handle just the upper echelon, the 1%. They don't, I mean, because I can tell you right now, Guy Tang, Brad Mondo, any of the professional hairstylists and salons that they use in any of the America's Next Top Model, any of those salons that you guys see, I could not afford to have a treatment done by them. I can't afford it. And I know that because I live in the middle of BFE and I can't afford to go to a salon here. So, you know, I mean, a lot of the, like, Brad Mondo videos that I'm watching, I just watched one where he compared, this was like from 2 years ago, he compared box dye to professional dye that you would get from like Sally's, right? And there it goes again, falling down, you shazbot. And he even said that the price point was a handful of dollars difference. You know, so obviously my version of things and what I can do at a salon is completely different, but the products aren't, which means that the primary price point increase between me doing it at home and them doing it there is their service fees. You know, and I have a girlfriend who has been to cosmetology school. She has her license and she chooses not to work in a salon because of all of the fees that the salon charges you to use their space. You know, by the end of the day, she would not be striking even unless she had X amount of appointments. You know, it's no better than the way that they do servers in this country. You know, they pay them at half of minimum wage, and then they have to claim all of their tips at the end. And if they don't end up making minimum wage with their tips, then they get paid the minimum wage. But I can tell you from personal experience and from the experience of my friends and my sister that if they get paid the supplemental from the half minimum wage to the minimum wage because they don't make enough tips, they get in trouble for having to do that too often, right? But then if they claim all of their tips, then they get cut by how much taxes are on tips, which waitresses bust their asses for. So, you know, it doesn't make any sense. There's no upside to doing it the way that the rules tell you to do it. So yes, I do use products from Sally's, and I try not to use box dye, although I will mea culpa, what's in my hair now is a box dye. Simply because it was easier for me to match the color on the box to what I was going for than try to do the chemistry set myself. I had to be in a professional setting. I didn't have the time to go through and formulate exactly what the shade was going to be, what the undertone was going to be, what the developer was going to be. And quite frankly, my hair was already effing orange to start with. So it was no holds barred at that point. It was either it needed to go the color I was aiming for, or it was going to go like a super dark, dark, dark brown, and I'd just deal with evening it out later. My time limitations did not allow for me to do the right thing. So I'm trying to make this channel successful, and I'm really hoping that my subscribers will be able to assist, or friends of subscribers, or friends of friends of friends. I'm not too picky about it, because if you have an idea or an expertise, that's awesome. You know, there are a lot of things that I can do that are not on my resume, simply because I don't have the documentation to back up that I can do it. I could technically be a member of an IT team, not for the components part of it, but for the actual support part of it. The reason that I can't is because I don't have anything on paper saying that I've taken a course for it, because I haven't. I've just lived through the Microsoft Windows 95 to Windows 10 meets Linux meets Apple computer generation of kids who, when they had Super Nintendos, had to be their own technician and fix their Super Nintendos, you know. Power reset, blow in the cartridge, pray to God that it worked. I mean, you know, when you don't have the ability to hire somebody else to do it, you'd be amazed what you can learn out of necessity and requirement. So I'm going to keep futzing with these lights, but if anybody has any thoughts, please comment. As always, like, subscribe. You know, I'm all for the constructive criticism that comes with me being an uber nerd. I just, you know, help. There are some things that are in my niche, and there are some things that are not, and apparently electrical lighting components are in the not column. So toodles, thanks for watching, and thank you in advance for saving me if you do.